Marc Marquez's incredible speed on the track is matched by another, often unnoticed strength: his ability to read race situations, understand regulations, and develop brilliant strategies. The 2025 season clearly proves that Marquez is more than just a fast rider. He's a tactical mastermind on the bike, impressing even legends like Valentino Rossi. This strategic excellence earned Marquez the title of the most intelligent rider in MotoGP 2025. Let's discuss it. Since the start of the 2025 season, tire pressure regulations have been a constant source of controversy in the MotoGP paddock. Dorna and Michelin implemented strict rules, requiring every rider to maintain front and rear tire pressures within certain limits during both sprint and full races. At first glance, this might seem like standard procedure. However, on the track, it's a silent trap that has caught many riders off guard in volatile race conditions. Maintaining stable tire pressure is difficult, if not impossible, without a careful technical strategy. The result: time penalties, disqualifications, removal of sprint results, and points deductions have hit big names. Many teams have called the rules ridiculous, overly technical, and complicated. They argue that the regulations fail to account for natural variables like slipstream, track temperature, or aggressive duels that cause tire pressure to fluctuate. But amidst this storm, one name emerged as a symbol of calm and intelligence: Marc Marquez. While other riders buckled under pressure, both tire and mental Marquez remained consistent and composed, proving that in this new era, victory is determined not just by throttle, but by brainpower. As the Brno Grand Prix sprint race began, the track temperature was unstable, tires were unpredictable, teams panicked, and riders were confused. But Marquez took an unexpected step. Instead of pushing for the lead from the start, he let Pedro Acosta pass him. Strange, not to Marquez. There was a greater purpose behind this maneuver. He took advantage of his position behind Costa to quickly warm up his front tire in the slipstream. The bike in front causes faster temperature rise, which automatically raises the tire pressure to reach the legal limit. In other words, Marquez devised a strategy to ensure that his tire pressure would remain within limits throughout the sprint race. We've learned from previous races that tire pressure regulations can be a trap for anyone, so we focus not only on speed, but also on keeping everything within safe limits, Marquez said after the race. Thanks to this ingenious strategy, he avoided a potential penalty and secured a unanimous victory. The sprint race was his, but the magic didn't stop there. The next day, in a race that demanded stamina, consistency, and precision, Marquez once again proved his superiority. He repeated his dominance with an even more convincing performance. 2 wins in 2 days at the Brno circuit, which had been absent from the MotoGP calendar for 5 years, once again provided the stage for Marquez's glory. What Marquez and his team accomplished is clear evidence that experience, the ability to read the race, and strategic execution are far more important than simply stepping on the gas, said Ducati Lenovo manager Davide Tardozzi, visibly emotional in the paddock. Tardozzi couldn't hide his pride in seeing his rider perform nearly flawlessly through every corner. The 2025 season further proves one undeniable fact: speed alone is not enough to win. Due to increasingly stringent regulations, complex electronic systems, and rapidly evolving technology, riders must think like engineers, react as quickly as computers, and maintain sharp racing instincts. Amidst all these challenges, one name stands out: Marc Marquez. He's not just fast, and with over a decade of experience in the premier class, Marquez knows when to attack, when to defend, and how to exploit the slightest opening in his opponent's defense. His strategies aren't always apparent, but the results are. As long as Marquez is on the track, no other rider can feel truly safe. He always finds a way to win, even in the most difficult conditions. However, Marquez's dominance won't necessarily remain unchallenged. The MotoGP world was shocked by huge news. Toprak Razgatlioglu, the world superbike champion, has officially signed with the Yamaha MotoGP factory team for the 2026 season. Toprak has long been expected to move up to MotoGP with his aggressive riding style, exceptional late-braking ability, and physical toughness. He's been touted as a younger version of Marquez. In a press conference in Istanbul, Toprak confidently stated, "MotoGP is my dream. I want to prove that I can compete with the best. I'm ready to challenge Marquez if all goes according to plan." The 2026 MotoGP season will feature one of the most highly anticipated matchups in modern motorcycle racing history: Marc Marquez versus Toprak Razgatlioglu. These two track warriors have almost opposite characters and approaches. Marquez is a master of control and strategy. He relies on precision, careful calculation, and a wealth of experience that has allowed him to dominate various eras of MotoGP. On the other hand, Toprak presents himself as an aggressive gladiator. His riding style is wild and bold. He doesn't hesitate to take risks on sharp corners, leaving audiences breathless. The question now is whether this will be the most heated duel of the last decade of MotoGP. Will Marquez once again prove that experience, composure, and cunning are the ultimate undefeatable weapons? Off the track, the spotlight isn't just on the active riders. Even the legendary Valentino Rossi is feeling uneasy now. In an exclusive interview with Italian media, Rossi couldn't hide his concern. He admitted that Marquez's resurgence this season was unexpected. "I'm not going to lie, want to be the greatest of all time. But seeing Marquez perform this strongly, I have to admit he's not finished yet," Rossi said in a serious tone, his anxiety evident on his face. Marquez is now just one title away from Rossi's legendary record of 9 Premier-class World Championships. This number has long been considered impossible for the next generation to achieve. If Marquez continues his extraordinary performance in the 2025 season, a 9th title could become a reality. This could dethrone Rossi as the greatest icon in MotoGP history. From the opening round in Burim, Marquez sent a clear message that a new era had begun, that he was at its center. It's not just about raw speed. Marquez displays extraordinary maturity. He reads situations intelligently, waits patiently for openings, and carefully calculates every maneuver. He never seems to be in a rush. Yet he's always in the right place at the perfect time. He continues collecting victory after victory, as if rewriting the MotoGP history books with his own ink. His dominance isn't just visible on paper, it's also felt in the paddock in the form of his rivals' fear and respect, even when competing on rival home turf such as Mugello and Assen sacred circuits for Italian fans and symbols of Pecco Bagnaia's glory. Marquez remains ferocious. He doesn't just defeat his opponents, he humiliates them, dominating races as if he alone knows the secrets of the track. Now, the entire MotoGP world is fixated on one big question: will Marquez equal or surpass Valentino Rossi's legendary record on the horizon for next season? One name is starting to attract attention: Toprak Razgatlioglu. This talented rider with an aggressive style is being touted as the last hope to end the maestro's dominance. Will Toprak be a true challenger, or will he simply become the next victim in Marquez's unstoppable saga? Leave your thoughts below.